Hi, my name is Stephanie. I am here to facilitate a moon worship ceremony. This is a full moon in Scorpio. It is April 23rd, 2024. It's a Tuesday. And yes, I think there's a lot. I've done some research. There's many planetary shifts, cosmology occurring that has led me here, but led you here too. Um, this Scorpio full moon is squaring Pluto, which, to my knowledge, means that the Scorpio vibe is intensified since Pluto rules over Scorpio. It's the 23rd. Mercury retrograde ends on the 25th. The post eclipse period is now over. Um, yeah, this shadow period, if you will. And I think the last lunations, like the last new moon in Aries, and now this Scorpio full moon is bountiful opportunity for us to look inwards and see ourselves in beautiful lights. I was discussing with someone I love the dynamic of creating our reality and having it be so positive it feels like art, right? You can look at everything through rose colored glasses, and is that helpful? Does that instruct a reality based on truth and clarity, or does that take us away from the nature of ourselves? And this person told me that being messy is a good thing. And I think I want to embrace that and I really want to lean into that. So here I am. I have some notes, but I think I will try to free flow. So I'm a Scorpio. I feel very connected to this moon. I feel like this moon is here to hold us through our death and then push us into a subsequent rebirth. Um, and then be there for our ambivalence, our ambivalent nature. I think it's very special that we all are are so different, but we are all mosaics of ourselves, which is in turn just little pieces of each other. And the ambivalence that I'm talking about, um, I love thinking about our lives as circles, circles of our mind, circles of our body, circles of our soul, of our professional lives, of our creative lives, of our family lives. And each one is at a different stage of a cycle. For example, if you compare cycles to composting, in composting, you have your organic material that then decomposes and then gets put into soil so that it can nurture and nourish like crops and seeds and flowers that will bloom in months to come. Um, so yeah, there's so many different spots where you could be at in that cycle, whether it is noticing what needs to be composted or decomposing and letting that die inside of you, or it could also be um, being the fertile soil to plant the seeds inside of, and having the space and the grace to do so in a way that is kind, gentle, loving. Yeah. Um, yeah. One of the questions I want to ask you is, how do you exist in between spaces? How do you comfort yourself when you are in an unknown of the present and the future, and possibly, if there's a lack of reflection, of the past? For me, this liminal space has become fertile. I still struggle a lot to hold myself and witness who I am when I am not anything at all. But I think there's a lot of fruit to be seen in stress and fear and frustration and anger. I think all of those are opportunities to look inwards and see where we could be contracting or struggling, both of which are valid. So, yes, with this Scorpio full moon, I created a theme, and it's 3 parts, and it leads to one possibility, but I love the idea of um, many results. It just depends on what reality you exist in. What is this alternate existence that you have chosen to be in? So, first, you have observing, witnessing, seeing. Second, you have the opportunity to challenge or question, pry, maybe dig a little deeper, catch the temperature of what you've just observed. And then, third, my favorite, is the opportunity to reclaim. And I think in all of these, there is a certain possibility. In all of these, there is a possibility for you to understand them in any way that you might understand these actions. But more than actions, this is a process that we can choose to go through very intentionally. And I love the way that it leads inwards, and is a great tool for us to alchemize and evolve, which is the greatest thing that we can hope for, is positive change. So, in this simple 3-step process, you can become a better self. And more than anything, I want it to be a way for you to be kind and gentle with yourself, as you deserve space, grace, you deserve patience, you deserve time and intention. And yeah, I'll go into a little deeper on what these 3 steps are, and some questions that you can ask yourself to understand. Yes, so first is observation. I love this idea of a deep seated center of awareness. It can simply just be your center. This can mean many things to many different people, but I think when you close your eyes and take a deep breath and then exhale, whatever energy you just felt from taking that one breath that did not inquire thoughts or ask for emotions or feelings. It's just the simple existence. It is the witness. It is the higher self. It is the soul within. Yeah, I think that third person is a beautiful way to observe and see yourself. And in this method of seeing ourselves, we have our five senses, which is all around us. And then there's the sixth sense, which is what we sense in our body, whether it's a contraction or a pull in your certain muscle of your leg or your hips feeling tight. And then you have feelings, which are closer to emotions. Um, if you feel sad or anxious or nervous, if that manifests in your shoulders and you go like this, and then you feel sad or frustrated or angry in certain things that you feel within, and somehow all of these things are connected. Um, with the proprioception, which is just the sensing within, that is all within. And then with your feelings, that can occur between us. So, in me pointing all of these things out to you and um, and talking about sensations, what is this bringing up for you? Are you feeling understood? Are you feeling like you understand? Are you feeling like this makes no sense, or I'm not sure where this is going? But don't worry, it all makes sense. My point here is your body and your body language, as well as the body language and body of others, is all that you need to understand. Words are wonderful, words are great, but vibes and the way that you feel and the way that you can witness other people and yourself will show you everything that you need to know about a situation. And how do you enhance these methods of seeing? How do you become clear with your methods of seeing? It's a good question. The question I have down is, what are your methods for creating a calm nervous system? It could also be a calm mind or a calm body. So just think that over. There could be some quick answers, but in your existence, what has provided you the most calm? Whether that be a life situation or a reframe in your mind, just a mindset shift, something like that. Yeah. What has created peace for you? For me, I think the pendulum swinging, moving around a lot, having months of travel, and then being able to come home and feel peace and feel the same surrender that I felt when I was traveling. It has this like baseline of integration between both of them. It's this like invisible string that connects everything together. So, to answer the question that I asked, how do you enhance your ability to see? I said peace, which is the question as well. What are your methods for cultivating peace? Peace is power, so peace in your mind, peace in your body, peace in your soul. Peace as active forms of relaxation where you seek out deep breathing or slow movement. Um, you allow your intuition to guide, whether that is in writing or creating art or singing songs or making music. Um, yeah, physical art can be so liberating. And I think it's a wonderful method of observing. So that's one, understood. Observation is any form of witness. It is the meditative part where you can step back and just say, wow, that's what I was thinking. Yes, it's an illumination. The light is turned on. You notice. Yes. And then number two is challenge. This is like when you think a thought and it's an irrational thought. You're like, well, what the heck did I just think? And then just you prying, you questioning, well, where did that thought come from? Or why did I think that? That is what I mean by challenge. At every moment, you have the opportunity to come into your mind and understand what your mind is leading you to or why it is leading you there. I always like to say the mind is a noble mind. It is not a monkey mind. The mind will show you exactly what you are meant to see at whichever time you are meant to see it or hear it or understand it. So, yeah, it's so helpful to then have a 3-step process to look at your thoughts. Um, yeah, so I think it's amazing when you can just say, what have I been thinking about recently? And allow the illumination of it to come into a certain questioning. Mm-hmm. I think it can tell you so much about yourself. And I think this is a wonderful way to come into your subconscious and to see your deep seated desires, your childhood patterns. I'm looking down because I have a little list, and your insecurities. Because all of these things are not things that we can just figure out by existing simply. I think it does require a bit of digging. And when you have the space and the grace to dig, and to see yourself with clarity, to see your light and then see your shadow and accept both and be able to question and challenge and maybe understand if this thought really isn't yours. Maybe it's something else that you have absorbed from a certain situation, from you and a family member, or you and someone you love or someone you work with. So, yeah, your behaviors, your beliefs, they will, your behaviors become your beliefs, and your beliefs create results. When you have the ability to challenge your behaviors and the things that you have to say, then your beliefs can change and you can result in wonderful things. I need to check if this is going. Ah, yes, perfect. Finally, we have retrieval. I love this. I think of like a dog going to get a bone that you threw for it, and it like comes back all excited, like, hi. When I was explaining this in my women's circle, the girl I was explaining it to, she was like, giving your body exactly what it needs. And that was the perfect way of saying it. If you are, let's say, hypothetical, if you are contracting and uncomfortable from a situation that made you feel insecure and you notice it and you say, "Oh my god, my body language just changed. Like I'm covering myself. I feel closed off." You can come into the observation. "Oh, I've closed myself off. Why do I feel this way? Oh, I feel insecure. What happened to make me feel this way? Oh, this person that I really like told me about some person that they really like. Oh, that feels weird. Well, why do I feel this way? Where is this stemming from?" I think it might be, hmm, I think it might be my fear of abandonment, my fear of being left behind, my fear that I'm not good enough and that the person that I like actually doesn't like me. And in all of those patterns, then I can come back into my body and do the third, which is the reclaiming of my power, of my alchemy, and I can expand. I can expand into my reality, into my body, into my feelings, and I can tell myself, you are loved, you are seen, um, I understand where you're coming from, as maybe someone else treated you in this way. And now this person is not saying that. They are just explaining something else. And they're allowed to do that. And I'm allowed to feel this way. But I'm also allowed to make myself feel safe and secure so that I can open my heart back up. And in this ability to notice, take note of it, take a deep breath, and just let it all go, then you can come back to your deep seated center of awareness. And you can come back to your power, which I think in the feelings that are between us and others, where we might get triggered and we might not understand how we really feel, I think that's where a lot of difficulty lies in our relationships. But when you can understand that your triggers are your responsibility and you can do nothing but stay peaceful and maintain, protect your peace. Yes, exactly. Um, yeah. And the finale of all of this that I told you was so exciting because it'll be different for everyone. But for me, it ends up being this grand portal, this portal for alchemizing who I want to be and evolving into ideal self. And this happens at every moment. This is a practice. And once you have this cycle in mind, then all it takes is just a step back with the thoughts that you might want to challenge. It doesn't have to be every thought. Yeah. So many moments are liminal spaces, and there's so much fertility in liminal space when you are in betweens, in betweens, in betweens. It's like when the seed is still underneath the dirt and you don't know what's happening. And you don't know if this seed is going to blossom and bloom or even start a little seedling that like pokes out. Um, you must be patient and allow the process, trust the process. This is an affirmation by my metaphysical maven, one of my favorite influencers who talks about spirituality and moon phases and rocks. She says, I am fully capable and fully worthy of stepping into the next more abundant and loving timeline. And so it is. I am my future. I am, I can, I get to. Ah, and this circle is now over. I hope this Scorpio full moon allows you to feel joy, abundance, clarity, creativity, and you can comfortably come into your darkness so that you can facilitate a death because there's nothing wrong with dying. In fact, I think we should all be dying right now just for us to rebirth again. You know what I mean, not actual death. Uh, love you. I hope you're well. Oh, actually, wait, let me pull a card for us. Let me pull a card. I think the tower is at the bottom of the deck, but I'm not going to pull that one. But I just want to point out the tower vibes. The being at the top of the mountain and looking out at all of the progress that you've done and all of the wonderful things that you've been able to manifest for yourself. And I think there's so much to be said there that it is so special that you are here now and that you are able to do this spiritual work that is so liberating, nurturing, nutritious. Obviously, I can't shuffle cards very well, but I'm just hoping for one card to fall out. Spirit, if you are here, if you're in the room, just give me one card. If someone has tricks on how to shuffle well and like become a better shuffler, I guess practice is key here. Okay. Okay, there's a lot of cards, but I'll pick this. I'll pick this one. Ah, the Judgment card. Oh, this is so beautiful. Action. Oh, this makes me want to cry. I'm just going to reflect quickly. I've been wanting to do a video on my circle ritual, and this is the first one I've done this year. One of my goals for 2024 was to do these for every single moon, but like I'd never made a video. So judgment, action. It's coming into fruition. All of the things that I've been wanting to do. That's so special. And I'll read it from my little book to see what the book has to say. XX judgment. Here we go. Action, forgiveness, truth, second chances, realization, mindfulness, disapproval. An angel is peering out from behind the waning gibbous moon, as a spiritual awakening is needed now. Holding a shooting star within her hands, she blows the transformational star energy toward the three people full of guilt who stand on Neptune, the planet of reality and discovery. They hold their hands high to receive the star's energy through their palms, as this is needed for them to forgive themselves and block blame from others. The Judgment card asks you to make a decision and find the absolute solution. Your intuition will guide you through this. You have spent a lot of time thinking about your situation, and now's the time to act. Forgive yourself and others for events in the past and speak your truth. A breakthrough is needed in action and in thought focus. And in thought. A breakthrough is needed in action and in thought. Focus and remove any emotion so you may see clearly and freely. Star message: look back with kindness. Review the past. Reflect on your actions. Then make your decision. Try once more or let it go. I have healed myself from the past and ask the stars to guide me. Take a deep breath into your belly. Bring your shoulders up to your ears. On your exhale, let them float back out and down. Open up your chest. Take an inhale. Inflate your lungs, inflate your center, inflate your lower belly. And on your exhale, a nice loud sigh. If you can, change your sheets, do a good shake, and maybe get outside for a solid scream. And say your gratitudes. Mwah! I love you.